Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the rock show that everybody's tuning into, because here live on Musical People and Journeys, we've got another crazy, spectacular, amazing interview, because joining me tonight we have Kim and Henrik from Prime Creation. Hi guys, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. And you are, of course, living and hailing from the mecca of power metal, rock, melodic rock, from the home of it, because we always have to review bands from the mighty Sweden.
Yeah.
So, guys, why don't you introduce? So, Kim, you play the drums, and Henrik, you're the bass player in Prime Creation. So, are you also the founding members of the band, or how did Prime Creation come together?
Me and Kim and Kim's brother Robin played in another band called Morifade before this one, and then we decided to start Prime Creation in 2015, I think it was.
Yeah.
With us three and a couple of guys that's not part of the band anymore now. So.
And so, what was the name of the other band? Modred, did you say, or
Morifade?
And was that also similar kind of rock music in terms of the style, or did you decide that you wanted a different style and that's why you created Prime Creation?
No, the Morifade is quite similar. Little bit more power metal, I think, than Prime Creation is. Prime Creation is a little bit harder metal than Morifade.
So obviously we reviewed your album, Tell Freedom, I Said Hello. Interesting title. I know I'm going to steal your thunder here, Trish, because I know it's a question that you tend to ask, but I'm going to do it anyway, because it is a very interesting title.
Damn you.
I know, right? Sorry.
Can I ask it?
Yeah, okay, sorry. Trish, why don't you go and ask one of your typical questions that you like to ask?
One of my typical questions. How did you come up with the name of the album?
Because it is an unusual title, isn't it? Tell Freedom I Said Hello.
Yeah, it's from a novel, dystopian novel series, book series, which I can't remember the name of now. So it's stolen directly. It's a line. It's a comment from one of the characters in the book. So that's how we.
So how would you describe the album then? Is it a concept album? Because I do believe that it is set in this dystopian kind of world, and so would you describe it as a concept album?
Now we lost you there for.
You did.
Yeah. Now you're back.
You're back. No worries. I can start again. Freeze, because I can edit that. So, would you describe the album as a concept album set in this dystopian world, or is it just a series of songs with that background in mind? So, lost them again. Yeah, we lost you again there.
Yeah.
Try again, shall we? Okay. So would you describe the album as a concept album set in this dystopian world, or is it just that you've used that world to create just an album, or is it actually a concept album?
No, it's not. It's not a concept. It's a theme album. So
right.
All the songs are about dystopian war and. Sci-fi, dystopian sci-fi, and so on. But it's not. How do you say it?
Not a concept.
Yeah, not a concept album.
No.
So, the songs are standalone. So.
And did you and who's the main? Do you work together on all your tracks? Do you create the tracks together, or is there one of you that just writes it and everybody joins in? How do you evolve writing? Because it's quite interesting. Because normally you have an album, you write different tracks about different subjects, but you have obviously designed this album around a dystopian kind of world. So is that the imagination of one or two of you, or all of you? Where does this imagination come from?
Lyric-wise, it's I wrote most of the lyrics based on movies and books, and and Esa, the vocalist, has helped a bit with some of the songs as well, with the lyrics. But musical, it's Robin, Kim's brother, 100%.
And is it lyrics first or music first? Probably stole another one of Trish's questions there, but sorry, Trish, just the way the conversation's gone.
Yeah.
The music first.
Always the music first. I don't think we have ever written a lyric before the.
No, because we don't work with the songs together. We have never done that. I mean, Robin is at his place, right, and I'm at home at my place. So we never get together and write songs. So therefore, it's easier to do the music first.
So look, I've got to ask the question: the Great Wasteland, or to journey through the wasteland. What? Before I tell you my little story, what's that based on?
It's based on. I have only seen the movie The Road.
Right.
But it's from. I think it's a novel from the beginning. So. But,
oh, damn. Damn. So anyway, I'm reading a book. One of my favourite authors is a fantasy author by the name of Stephen Erickson, and he wrote this 10 novel extravaganza, huge books, and the last book of all, where the armies is marching to war, and they have to cross the Great Wasteland, and they're in this wasteland. And when I was listening to your album, they were literally in the middle of crossing the Great Wasteland, and brilliantly, in my mind, my imagination was because lyrically it wasn't far off what was actually going on in that book. Okay. So, which is great, because that's why I didn't think this was more like a concept album, because it was set. You could literally transpose that word and those musics, which I did personally, to what was happening in that novel, because it was a great wasteland. That, a lot of the army was dying off, but you knew she was up to something, and they were going, to to a place to possibly die, or whatever it was that they were doing. When there were spoilers, but so it was fantastic. So it was that your favourite track on the album?
No, from my view, it's I mean,
complicated.
My favorite tracks always changing of an album. I think I have two or three favorite songs before we record an album, and then when the album is done, they always change to one or two other songs, and then.
So how would you? I mean, there's lots of different types of metal, but how would you describe in terms of what sort of genre of rock? If somebody says to you, because there's lots of different types of rock, but how would you fit? How would you describe the way that your music is? Is it heavy metal, heavy rock, power metal? What? How would you describe it?
I think on the album, on our 3 albums, I think the music is it's different from each other on all the albums, if you know what I mean. But I would say I don't know.
Melodic.
Yeah, melodic power
I
metal.
think. Yeah.
And there is some what's it called, progressive.
Yeah, some progressive elements, and but I think melodic metal is.
And who was your inspiration? If you had to liken yourself, would you describe yourself as a new sound, or what would you base your influences on?
Oh,
tricky question.
I think it's based on. I think all of us 5 in the bands listen to very different styles of music and metal, and I think we take inspirations of enormous amount of bands, and then Robin, who writes all the music, listen to very metal and music as well. So we don't have any.
No, we can't put a finger on.
So Henrik, let's start with you. When you were growing up, 20 years ago, you're in your teens. Who were you listening to? Who was your influences then, Henrik?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden. Yeah. Good. Because that's one of the bands that I was going to. There's 3 bands I would merge you with. How about you then, Kim?
I think in the 80s I listened to the first heavier band, I think, was Twisted Sister. And then Mötley Crüe, Metallica.
Yeah,
I think was the first.
Yeah, because you're not an Iron Maiden takeoff, far from it, in fact. But you could tell the influences of Iron Maiden, and for me, Dio as well, in terms of the way the storytelling arc kind of goes, really. But what I think is, for me, if I had to describe, if somebody said, "Oh, what Prime Creation?" I said, "Well, if you can think of from the classic era of like Dio and Iron Maiden combined, with more, which is what I like about there's a more that melodic kind of metal that is really coming to the fro. We've got quite a few bands that are coming through that are excellent. That there's more layers to. Let's, for example, with Iron Maiden, your layers go like that much, and in modern melodic rock, the layers are that much, and that's kind of where you've gone. Well, we'll put the base of that, but we're going to add a lot more layers to the musicality and kind of what you kind of bring to the throne. But your storytelling, the way you storytell an arc, reminds me of that Dio kind of Iron Maiden arc, if you like, but I think you've got more layers to you. Would you think that would be fair? Would that be a fair description?
Yeah, it's always great to be compared to Dio and Maiden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'd say not so much. I think you've got that melodic kind of more modern rock sound to you, which sets you a little bit different, but you still have that the roots of that classic rock. And there's a lot of bands out there that just go classic rock and don't add anything kind of new to it, and there's a lot of bands out there that do that, and I wouldn't put you in that category. Come on then, Trish. I know you're chomping away as ever. She gives me the death stare. Isn't it about time? Got a question?
Okay, so what's the best show or tour you've ever played, and why was it so special to you?
The best tour is extremely simple to answer because we've only been on one tour. So.
Okay.
Good question. And where was that? Was that in Sweden?
Yeah, now in September we were in Latvia, and it's a small tour, only three gigs. But it was the first tour with this band, and so far the only tour with this band. So. So that was the best tour. Yeah,
Yeah, best tour. I think the best gig probably with Masterplan.
Yeah.
I think for a couple of shows in Sweden for a couple of years ago.
What are some of the challenges you have faced as a band?
The challenge.
reaching out to people,
Yeah,
to the audience. Yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah, reaching out and it's hard. It's hard nowadays to get good gigs, and I think that's the most.
Yeah.
Today.
Are you guys signed with the record label? What's your state of play with the record label? Who are you signed with?
We are signed with a record label that's called Rock of Angels from Greece.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how did that come about?
For this record, we search among record labels, and we had a very good impressions of Rock of Angels and what they could offer us as a band. So we signed there in last year for this record.
And don't they? And the reason going down that, and sorry to kind of tuck on a tangent there in terms of your questions there, Trish, but I mean, in terms of do they not? Because it's kind of interesting in terms of, you say you find it difficult in reaching out to people and to your audience. Does not that do that record company not help you to achieve that through social media and promoting your album, etc.? So is there not a level of support there from say a record company to help you with that?
Yeah, they did, and they are helping us reaching out. But I think it's hard because it's thousands of releases every year in metal, and everyone wants their spot in the world. So it's hard even with a record label.
Yeah, and I mean, how many are there on the label? It's only two.
Two guys.
Two guys. And they have maybe 20 bands or something. So it's it's hard for them as well. So
back to my delightful Trish. Trish, more questions? Sorry, you answered a question. It kind of just led on to a couple of other ones.
It's
So
fine. I'm used to you, Nigel. Okay, so I've got two more left before I hand back to Nigel. What's the best advice that you've ever been given as musicians?
Advice? I don't know.
You haven't been given any, really?
No, actually not. So yeah.
I know
Okay.
one. To come and talk to musical people and journeys and interview them.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What do you hope people take away from your music?
That's a hard question as well.
Sorry.
We like to challenge.
No, I can't answer. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Go on, Nige. Hit them
Well,
with it.
I mean, surely it's like when you write music, do you write music for yourselves, or do you write music for and go, well, I hope people enjoy it? But I suppose I'm going to rephrase what Trish is trying to ask you here is, like, for me personally, it's what in terms of a takeaway for your audience. Are you looking for them to go on this journey with you, or for them to enjoy that music, or what do you hope you're going to achieve when you kind of release an album of dystopia, or is it just pure escapism?
I think to answer the first part, I think we write music for ourselves.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, mostly
Yeah.
for ourselves.
because at least I don't think Robin, when he writes music, I don't think he doesn't think about what people want to hear.
Oh,
I mean, and I write lyrics that I find fascinating. So I think we write for ourselves firstly.
Then in hope that our fans and everyone else gonna like it.
So, so where's your Henrik, your imagination then? Do you read a lot of science fiction novels and that sort of stuff? Is that where you drag up your inspiration for your lyricisms? Is that
more movies. I don't read very much. Yeah.
So what's your favourite dystopian sci-fi movie then? I'm sorry, Kim, but we're going to go on a journey here with Henry. We're gonna drill into this man's imagination and find where he gets his source and inspiration from.
Favorite. I can't say any favorite, but I really like when it's about the end of the world.
Okay.
And the aftermath, that kind of dystopian, end of the world dystopian themes.
So what's been the latest movie you've watched?
I think the latest was what's it called? Oh man, I can't think of the name.
Put you under pressure here.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of movies through Netflix or Apple TV or those sorts of series and stuff? Because there's quite a lot of really good dystopian type movies are currently on Apple TV, for example, with the Alien Invasion. And I simply watched Isaac Asimov's Foundation series on Apple TV, which is absolutely fantastic. So.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie, the latest, but one of the latest was The Road, actually.
The Road. And what was that about?
Oh, that's where the song Through the Wasteland was based.
Right.
So it's about a man. It's a sort of end of the world theme.
Yeah.
And there's a man going and protecting his son.
Yeah.
It's he and his son going through different ordeals. And the movie is about protection, him protecting his son. So.
Okay. So you guys, when we reviewed your album, scored pretty well. I think you got like 18 out of 25, just short of our hallowed Hall of Fame. So which basically means like I think you're top 80, top 75, and we've done about 300 albums. So you've sat really kind of well. Now this was did you say this was your third album? Is that right?
Yeah.
And so what's next? Are you looking to try and get onto tour? Is there going to be a tour coming up for you guys? Are you going to try and get out there, or is that are you finding that difficult as well at the minute?
No, we want to go out and tour as much as we can. So that's the main goal. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think it's same. The pandemic, it put everything on hold. As you know, everything was shut down. So it's a big backlog of bands that needs to go out and play before us. So
yeah,
unfortunately,
it's quite hard for small bands to get those tours, but it's the absolutely the main goal is touring for this album.
Yeah.
And what's your day jobs, guys? Kim, what do you do? What you doing for your day job? You're not making a living out of being a full-time.
No, no. Also, I'm a carpenter.
A carpenter.
Yeah.
Cool. And Henrik?
I'm a welder.
A welder. And do you guys work together, or do you?
No.
No, not together.
No. Well, apart from obviously you create something beautiful with Prime Creation. So is the next album kind of you starting to evolve, or do you have ideas for your next album, or is the next kind of year or so going to be fully focused on trying to promote this album and trying to get out there and push it?
We have a bit of help with the gigs now. A company that search for gigs, like a sort of a booking company, and so we can focus pretty much on the new album. I know that Robin and Esa, vocalist, they have recorded 3 songs already, I think.
Yeah,
a pre-production
for 3 songs for the next album. So the writing for that are in
progress.
In progress, also.
Is similar theme or different theme?
We don't know yet.
We haven't heard anything.
They write the music, and then they're going to come and go, Henrik, write some music. And then if Henrik can remember the film he watched, he might be able to do some lyrics on it. Sorry, couldn't resist. Could not resist that. All right. Okay. Well, look, we hope you come to the UK. I would certainly love to come.
Yeah, it's we had I don't know if you were online, Nigel, when we talked about the tour. We had a tour in the UK.
Did you?
No, we never did it. We were supposed to have, but then the pandemic.
COVID happened.
Yeah, we had four gigs.
4 or 5 shows in UK,
and we had the bus booked and hotels and everything, and then
flight tickets.
Yeah, flight tickets. Yeah.
I don't suppose you're going to remember where you were going to be playing, but that not really matters. But there we go.
Oh.
Well, listen. If you come to the UK again, please do not go to the north. Okay, everybody seems to go to the bloody north, right? Sheffield and Manchester and like down south, please. Down south, right? Get me on at least one gig down south.
At least one venue. At
least one. Portsmouth, Hampton, that sort of place on that score, please.
Yeah, I remember one place. It was Edinburgh.
Well, that's too far away, right? That's in Scotland. That's in Scotland, for God's sake. That's Scotland. I mean, it's probably closer to where you're living than it is for me. You just jump across on the boat from that side of things as well. This guy's been an absolute fascinated to kind of meet you guys, to talk to you. We do sincerely wish you all the very best. Sorry you didn't quite make our Hall of Fame, but you weren't far off. You were a whiskers close. Me and Trish obviously loved the album. The trouble with our gang is very eclectic, so it's got to hit that sweet spot. But you hit my sweet spot, you hit Trish's sweet spot. We thought it was an absolutely terrific album. I loved it. I'm a massive kind of fantasy fan, and I could picture myself in your world, and you kind of just you hit my boat as well, which is fantastic. So so thank you very much for coming to meet us here today.
So
really appreciated it.
Thank you.
Good luck with the album. Good luck with getting some tours. We absolutely can't wait to hear your next album when it comes out, probably in about another year or a year and a half, however long that process is going to take. And maybe we can get you back on again to help you promote the new album before when you get down to launching it. But super excited. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you to Kim. Thank you to Henrik. Thank you, everybody. Check out our video on Prime Creation and the album Tell Freedom I Said Hello. I mean, what a great line. Love it. One of my favourite album names. Got to say of the year. But anyway, there we go. Thanks very much. Thank you very much to my wonderful co-host, Trish, for all the wicked questions as ever. And if you like what you hear, please subscribe. Please like it. Leave your comments down there. Please check out Prime Creation if you like I Maiden Duo with that new kind of melodic theme. Check out their album. It's absolutely ace. So anyway, once again, thanks to Kim. Thanks to Henrik. Goodbye and good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye bye.